Dear students of class 8A and 8B, today's topic, Industrial Revolution and Imperialism. You know, in your book, the number of lessons given, not many in numbers. A very little number of lessons are given in your book. But before the process of imposing lockdown throughout our state, throughout India, as per the instruction of our school, all the subject teachers, they framed their split up syllabus. So many lessons also were there. But after that incident of imposing lockdown throughout the country, throughout the whole world, as per the instruction of council and our school, we have to reduce your syllabus. So the number of lessons which should have been taught by me from my subject, I could teach it. But since the lessons were omitted by council as well as the instruction of our principal sir, that's why your teaching already, the teaching of the entire lessons already has been completed. So now no lesson is left for teaching. No lesson is left to teach. That's why, my dear students, at the 11th hour, council also has reduced some lessons. She reduced your syllabus, and some lessons also are excluded from the syllabus. That's why now we have to re-explain the same lesson twice. So today I have chosen lesson number 2, Industrial Revolution and Imperialism. The points as I mentioned in the board in introduction. Now, what was the reason the Industrial Revolution took place? You know, with the advent of a new era, a new age, the people realize that they must lead a very steady life, a very enjoyable life. After the period of Renaissance, a number of scientists, they started discovering new machines. There was a remarkable change. A remarkable change came in the entire structure of our society, and all parts of the world. But initially, England was the first country to receive the knowledge of modern science. So the scientists of England, the scientists of Germany, the scientists of France, Italy, they started inventing a number of machines. And England, from the very beginning, was determined to make a monopoly business throughout the whole world. With the advent of the Industrial Revolution, England started encouraging the scientists of different countries of the world to come to England and to live there. They offered huge money and some economic facilities. As a result, the scientists of different countries of the world, scientists of Germany, scientists of Italy, scientists of France, scientists of, scientists of America, Brazil, Netherlands, and so on, they started shifting their settlement from their motherland to England. So they settle permanently. They settle in England permanently, and only because of better earning, better opportunities, they decided to avail. Under such circumstances, England decided to utilize its geographical resources. The geographical advantages which England had, England decided to utilize it. Besides, the scientists of England, they invented so many machines. Naturally, there came a remarkable, remarkable, you know, uh, improvement in the field of industry. The industry which was totally dependent on handicraft or machine made handicraft, the industry which was totally dependent on people and was operated manually, this industry now became machine made industry, machine depended on machine. And instead of people, machine started working. So the machine made products flooded the whole market. It was due to that reason the idea and concept of imperialism formed among different powerful countries of the world. England was the first to utilize its resources for industrial growth and development. Now, nature of industrial revolution. Industrial revolution means not revolution or agitation, but rapid change in the growth and development of industry. Rapid change in the field of manufacturing goods, rapid growth in the field of inventing new machines, and this industrial improvement is considered as industrial revolution. The scientists who invented so many machines, they felt that the resources, the raw materials, and all availability of goods, including water, including mines, coal mines, these all should be properly utilized by their country. As a result of it, the government of England, they decided to utilize its all resources. Coal mines were nicely utilized. They started using their coal mines. Coals abundantly became available. Water abundantly became available. Now what was needed most is a good network system of communication. As a result of it, the British established railway line throughout England in order to supply their productive goods from one place to another within a very short time and by saving their money. Now, favorable conditions for industrial revolution. Favorable condition for industrial revolution. Industrial revolution was possible in England, and England was the first country of the world to witness the industrial era, industrial revolution. Why? Because of its natural resources, because availability of coal, water, availability of cheap laborers. So these were the important factors which helped England to be a part of industrial revolution. England also felt that occupying different countries which were inferior to them should be a very important task for them. That's why the idea and concept of forming imperialism also led to the development of industrial era. Now England started occupying different countries of Asia, Europe and Africa for utilizing their natural resources and raw materials so that it must meet its growing demand of their own factories and industries. That's why so many countries of Asia, Europe and Africa were targeted by England, and England established their colonies there, and it started utilizing their natural resources and raw materials. It helped England to be self-sufficient. So it also encouraged England industrialists, capitalists, moneylenders to be factory owners. They started establishing a number of factories and industries throughout the country. And next one, agricultural revolution. The lands which were cultivated by the farmers, peasants of England in different villages, these lands had their only one source of income. They properly cultivated their lands and produced bulk quantity of crops from there and sold it and supplied it to different countries of the world also, and earned a lot of money. They all were prosperous, rich, and well established in the society. But as soon as the Industrial Revolution changed the entire pattern, the entire circumstances of earning money in respect of considering themselves to be more and more rich, in considering themselves to be richer, they started selling their agricultural lands and decided to establish their settlements in cities and towns where many factories and industries were established. They actually wanted to lead a modern lifestyle, because in villages, the villagers were conservative minded people. Neither they had education nor they had culture. So that group of people who actually were rich and prosperous and wealthy in the society, now they decided to come out of that restricted places, and wanted to enjoy their lives by using their money, by using their financial abilities, and hence they shifted themselves from villages to cities and towns. And this migration encouraged other rich group of people of the world. Naturally, they also followed the same footsteps of each other. As a result, cities became a center of fashion and culture. Cities became a center of earning money, much more money. As a result of it, the complex, as a result of it, population also was increased, and basic needs which they required from towns, in order to meet their basic needs, they started investing their money much more. They decided to invest their money much for better earning, better income. As a result of it, it also increased population. The age of industries eventually began. So this is the age, and this age also awakened the people's concept. A group of people, and the awakening of a group of people also led to the growth of Industrial Revolution, because they all were educated and were inspired by the concept of Renaissance age. And next one, birth of the new class of merchants. The factory-made goods, which started producing bulk in quantities. A group of people decided to invest money in order to supply these quantities of goods from one place to another. For example, the factory-made goods which were produced from England, the merchants of England, British merchants, decided to export it to different parts of the world by investing their money. It was due to an effort of England. Our country, India, had become their colony. England did it with a view to utilize the large market of India. As a result of it, so many British traders, so many British merchants, they invested a large amount of money for industrial growth, for their trade, for supplying these goods and for earning much more amount of money from there. As a result of it, the idea of establishing trading relationship with different countries of the world also was formed. A number of British traders, British merchants who actually were multimillionaires, they invested their money and they strengthened their financial stability. And ultimately these merchants, this group of merchants, this class of people, they later on became factory owners. They all established their factories. First of all, they sold their lands, agricultural lands. Then they came to the cities and towns and established their settlements there. They sold lands from there and built their houses, and at the same time they invested much more money for establishing factories and industries. So this group of people, the prosperous people of villages, later on became factory owners and became a prosperous, rich people of cities and enjoyed enormous facilities, enjoyed enormous amusement, enormous entertainments while living in cities and towns. And another point, last of all, I would like to explain, that is, my dear students, what was the reason what happened to the people who were totally dependent on cottage industries? What happened to them? The people who were totally dependent on cottage industries, they provided manual laborers and earned money from their cottage industries. As soon as the machine-made goods flooded the market, their cottage industry was ruined and they all became jobless people. Only because of the large-scale industry, means small-scale industry was removed, and instead of it, large-scale industry occupied the large market of different countries of the world. This process began in Britain first, and in the 18th century, and spread to other parts of the world in course of time. Up to this, my dear students, thank you.